All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for Grow Your Business with Mobile Apps, our app chat webinar for the month. I'm Lauren McCormick. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at BuildFire, joined today by Max Vassos. He's our white label lead account manager, as well as our special guest. So excited to say hello and welcome Moises Mendoza. He is the owner and founder of Social Connection Marketing out of West Virginia. He's the proprietor of a digital marketing agency, and he'll be talking to us today about the BuildFire Plus white label reseller program. He has been able to help his community in tremendous ways, and he's delighted to say that his agency is growing thanks to his ability to provide mobile apps to his clients. Without further ado, I would like to present our agenda for the day. We've met the speakers. We're going to talk a little bit about the agency itself at Social Connection Marketing. And then we'll give a little history, like how did Moises end up interested in mobile apps and providing mobile apps as a service to his customers and prospects. We'll talk a little bit with Max and discuss the finer points of our white label program. And then we'll open up for Q&A at the end of our presentation so that you can ask the questions that are on the top of your mind. So feel free in chat to drop questions for us as the presentation is going. We'll be sure to address your questions at the end. If we don't have time to address all of today's questions, somebody from BuildFire will be sure to reach out and contact you personally to continue the conversation. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Right now, we are recording today's event. So if you'd like to share it with your peers or watch the event afterward, we'll be sure to send you the recording. And any questions you might have, please stay on mute till the end of the presentation, and we'll be sure to address those questions at the end. All righty. Cool. So as I mentioned, we're joined by Max and Moises today. Super excited. And without further ado, I'll pass the mic on over to Moises so that he can introduce himself and tell us all a little bit about Social Connection Marketing and the White Label Reseller Program.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction. So as Lauren said, my name is Moises Mendoza. I'm the owner of Social Connection Marketing. We're an agency based out of Charlestown, West Virginia. So we're about an hour from DC, an hour from Baltimore, an hour from PA. So I like to think of us as a central hub between multiple states. And our area is really, really growing. So it's really exciting to be an agency owner there. I graduated from the wonderful West Virginia University, as you can see. I had a degree in social media marketing and a minor in advertising. So I kind of just want to hop into a little bit about what the agency does. I like to think of us as a one-stop shop. We provide videography, we provide SEO, social media, and website design. So we do a lot of services under one roof, and that's really where I think we leverage a lot of what we do for our clients in the area, which are small businesses and large businesses. We've been around for about 2 years, and the business has really honestly just been growing like crazy. A lot of what was in our area was people who were doing marketing that was what I would consider outdated, like radio, print advertising, and that was the main focus. I really wanted to make sure that I was bringing something new to the area, like digital marketing, SEO first. And I've always been eyeing apps, but I just wasn't sure on how I would ever get to that point, but I'll touch on that a little bit later. So let me just start off by saying I am not an app developer. I do not know anything about coding. If I look at that code and stuff like that, I completely get lost like a lot of other people. But thanks to BuildFire, I've been actually able to offer apps, which has been really, really incredible. So the way that this journey pretty much started was one of my restaurant clients had asked me, we were already doing videography for them. We were doing a website for them, and we did a lot of other social media marketing for them with Facebook ads and different things like that. They had said, hey, one of our competitors has a mobile app and it's really good, and we want something that's very similar, just better. And is this something that you can do? Now, initially, I didn't reply immediately. I was kind of thinking to myself, like I've always wanted to do mobile apps, but what do I say? Because it's not something I currently offer. So what I did was I did a Google search for no code app building platforms, because I knew that there's no way I'm going to be able to code a full app or even have the resources to hire a developer to do that. That would take years. hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to do something like that. So I just knew it wasn't realistic. So upon my Google search, I found about 5 different platforms, BuildFire being one of them. And I just started free trials with all of them and kind of jumped into their app building interfaces on the back end. I will be honest, when I first got into BuildFire, I was a little overwhelmed. I was like, whoa, this is a lot. I am not exactly sure how to even approach the app building platform. There's so much here. What can I do to really try to figure this out? So I actually went away for about a week or two. I ended up telling my client, yeah, actually, I can't develop an app for you, because I was confident that I could figure it out eventually with one of these platforms. It would kind of stick with me. So I, about a week later, a BuildFire representative reached out to me and said, hey, we saw you were building this app, but we saw you stopped. Is there a reason that you didn't move forward with the app? Like, what's going on? So I pretty much told them, hey, I have this client. They want an app, but I don't know how to build it, and I'm not fully comfortable in your app building platform yet. It's really easy to use and intuitive, but some of the stuff is a little bit over my head. So they said, well, we can actually build an app for you. And then that way you can kind of show it to your client and say, hey, here's what I built for you. So what I did for my first app is I only charged enough where I would make about $1,000 of profit. And then I hired BuildFire to actually build the app for me. And for me, this was more of a proof of concept app to show that, hey, we can kind of really build these apps, and I can actually figure out how to use a full BuildFire interface. So the first app, it went really well from the beginning to the end process of building it with the BuildFire team. They kept me looped every step of the way. We had full interactive demos that showed me what plugins were, what features we could put on the app. The documentation on there was incredible to show you how to register for a Google account and an Apple developer account. So there were a ton of resources really out there for me to learn how to get things done. Take a quick swig of water. So after that first app build, my clients were really, really excited. And we had built a successful app, and I was really pleased with the result. The client was saving money every single month. And I would just say overall it was a really successful project. And after that one, I felt so much more confident working with BuildFire and just using the BuildFire platform to offer apps. So about 2 weeks after that app was completed, a BuildFire representative and said, hey, reach out to me and said, hey, do you know we have a white label program? Basically, you pay a flat monthly fee and you get credits that can be used towards building apps. So I was like, wow, this is really incredible. You're telling me I could build 4 apps under my flat rate credit program and then charge the client however much I want, because it's based on whatever tiers I wanted to build. And from there, I would just make profits monthly. So I kind of scoped out my initial client list that I had and said, I wonder who could use an app, who I think would be a good fit. And I had the local chamber of commerce reach out to me and say, hey, we're looking to build an app, something that the entire county can use. So our county has about 300 to 500,000 people, and it's growing significantly. So I felt confident to tell them, hey, I can build you guys this incredible app that anybody in the county can use, that includes a map of all the parks, businesses, directories, local coupons that business owners can use. So from there, I worked with BuildFire white label team to actually build this entire app out. And you can see it on the screen right now. It's a Berkeley County Chamber app. And this app honestly kind of put my agency on the map when it comes to app building, because a lot of people knew and loved this app. They're like, wow, we can look at all events that are happening in the area. We can look at different coupons from local businesses in our local area right here on our smartphones. So this app was done under the white label program. And from there, I'd already broken even on my flat monthly fee. So any apps that I develop after are just completely profit. So it's been incredible. From this app, we've actually started to work on a few other apps, which has been really awesome. I'm working on 2 right now that I'm really excited about. The first one is the Youth Fair app from Berkeley County, which is where I live. And this youth fair attracts 30 to 50,000 people every single week that it happens. So it's probably one of the biggest platforms, and we are pretty much digitizing their entire fair to where people can purchase tickets for the carnival online. People can look at the full map to learn where everything is, where vendors are. So I think this is one app that's really, really going to catapult. And I did it under my white label program. So I've made profit every single month from this app. And the next app that I'm really excited to build is something called Renolution. It's a contractor remodeling app. Basically, it matches up remodelers in the local area with contractors who can kind of fit their needs. And I was actually really surprised on how the BuildFire plugins were able to meet the demands of this app, because it's a pretty complex app. So it's been incredible. One of the things that I really, really enjoy about the white label program is just how I feel like it's a partnership, and it's not just here, you're paying a monthly fee and we'll give you credits and that's it. I speak to the BuildFire team weekly. They check in with me weekly to see if I have any needs, how my apps are going. And I actually work with Max a lot to kind of review all of the apps that we have built and that we have going on. And then we give them feedback based on what our users are saying. So I can tell you a great example, the Berkeley County app. We had this feature that we really, really, really wanted, and we knew that it would lead to a really great experience. So I said, hey, Max, like we have this app request that a lot of people are asking. Is there any way that we can get this built into the BuildFire directory? So he said, yeah, let me talk to the development team and we'll see what we can do. So within 2 weeks before the app launched, we had that new feature installed into the app, and all our clients were extremely happy. And it's happened on multiple occasions where we wanted a suggestion on a feature or a plugin, and we worked with the white label team to give them that feedback, and they've implemented it. So it's pretty exciting to be able to have that line of communication where we can suggest something and then there's a good chance that it's going to happen. So there's just been a lot of benefits to the white label program. And I would honestly say that like it's definitely catapulted our agency into another level, because a lot of people are looking at us as a premier app developers in the area, and we're able to offer enterprise apps and then just smaller business apps. So there's really, really a lot of potential there. And that's why honestly, like I'm so glad I took the white label route. I was a little bit apprehensive at first, but once I have it and now that I'm using it to build a lot of different business apps, I honestly can't see myself going back. And it's become a major part of the business. I would say that web development and our videography are top 3 things now.
That's amazing, Moises. So you're perceived in your local market as the premier app provider. Like your agency is pioneering in your local market the entire world of mobile apps. Like you're seen as the authority.
And it's only been 6 months.
And 6 months ago, you were uncertain on whether or not you could promise one of your clients the ability to even have a mobile app. And now you're innovating in your market. And so what kind of a difference has that made for your clients? Like how it obviously has done wonderful things for Social Connections marketing. What's that done for their business? Like what are your clients seeing as far as results and feedback from the mobile app users themselves? It sounds like it's been an amazing experience for everybody.
Yeah, so I mean, even starting from our restaurant clients, a lot of them work with POS companies to integrate online ordering or different things like that. So I've had a couple of the POS companies tell me, hey, for a local app, this is one of the best local apps we have ever seen. Because I guess a lot of local small business apps have a stigma for just not looking or functioning well. I'm assuming because they might not have the resources to hire, high-end developers to build something for them. But with BuildFire, they've been pretty much able to do that. And I think one of my clients was paying almost $1,500 a month to mail out coupons. With our app, we've saved them close to, $700, and we put the coupons directly in the app. So they're already saving money there. And then the push notifications are incredible because we know email rates are low. Social media is a great resource, but with push notifications, all the app users receive those notifications directly to their phone. And they've loved it because there's also a feature with the geo-targeted notifications where you can target a certain demographic, like a popular shopping mall. And the moment a user walks into that shopping area, they get a notification right on their phone. So it's honestly just been really incredible. A lot of my local businesses are loving it, and even the larger ones too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think, that's kind of the beauty of using the BuildFire white label program, is that you have access to what other people have come before you and pioneered and used successfully, right? You're not starting from the ground up and trying to figure out your requirements and figure out what might be a hit and what might not. And you can spend your time wisely because you have some good direction from people. It's not just a platform, it's people too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about the people on the team that you've encountered and what the experience has been like with our crew over at BuildFire.
Absolutely. So I'll talk about Max for a second because he's
He's
on here.
amazing. Yeah.
Max has honestly been an incredible, I would say, partner, and he seems like he's actually invested into my apps and my business overall to see the growth. When I first started with him, we were only on one app. We're at about 6 to 7 apps that we have in production and completed right now. And Max knows about every single one, and he recommends features for every single one. And he's just always receptive. Anytime I send an email or want to set up a call just to review things monthly, he'll set that up for me, and then he even pings me when there's a new feature available that he thinks is going to be really, really beneficial for my users. So that's been really awesome. And just the support team, like Maria, somebody who's really awesome. Every single day she checks in with me. She says, "Hey, Moises, is there anything you need?" Or if I have a need with something with Google development on the back end or any just more technical stuff, I can shoot her an email, and within the same day she responds and says, "The team is on it. We'll keep you updated." And the moment it's completed, she emails me right back.
That's amazing. And I think when you look at your app as an extension of your business that's constantly evolving, as opposed to like a one and done, set it up and walk away kind of endeavor, I think that's when it really becomes a helpful resource for your clients and their customers, right? Like if it's an experience, a mobile experience that's adding value, you'll see the results, right? And what's cool, I think, about BuildFire, especially our program, helps people to find feedback from their users and to make sure that they can market the app, right? Maybe you could speak a little bit to how we empower you to make sure that these aren't just apps that get put up and nobody uses.
Yeah, so the BuildFire team is really good about, like I said, they have documentation that pretty much walks you through every single step of the app building process. But more than just the app building, it also talks about how to market your app correctly and some of the different integrations and success tools that past clients have seen. So that's one thing that I found that has really helped, is that BuildFire just takes it a step further than the technical portion. They're also invested marketing wise, and they show you how to integrate with Facebook ads and Google ads and different things like that, where some of that stuff can be a little bit confusing if you're not a developer. And for me, who I'm not, I've been able to utilize my marketing knowledge with BuildFire's past success rates and customer testimonials and kind of figure out how I can apply that to my business. And I mean, I think people really need to understand that people, I am not a developer. So when I look at a mobile app on my phone, I'm like, wow, like this must have been really hard to develop. I have no clue how they did this. But now that people see me as that agency that can do those mobile apps, it's kind of mind blowing, because I'm like, I don't know the first thing about all the code and stuff, but the BuildFire platform is just so intuitive and easy to use that I'm building full scale apps on my own. So it's really just incredible, honestly.
That's awesome. And I think that's part of the your story that's so inspirational to me, is having the courage to innovate, right? And having other people see the power of that innovation and get on board to really give themselves a competitive edge. You know, I think eventually mobile apps will be something that everybody has to have. But the question is, how soon do you want to dive into those waters so that you're an early adopter and that you get it right first and you have that competitive edge, right? It takes a little courage to jump into the innovation, but it sure does pay off once you figure it out, get that recipe right.
Yeah, and I for me, when I look at a business, if they have a mobile app, it kind of adds a layer of legitimacy to that business, where
Yeah, for sure.
as a user, I'm like, wow, they were willing to invest into a mobile app where, you know, everybody's got their phones nowadays. So that means that the business is probably run pretty efficiently. And that's just how I view things personally. And one of the other cool things that I really loved about the white label program is that I'm able to build apps for myself that I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
So in my
Awesome.
local area, I'm in the wedding industry pretty heavily. So we use there's like the knot and wedding wire, but the problem is that these they were lumping us in with places like DC and just areas that really aren't the same region, income level, or anything like that. So I actually use my white label program to build my own wedding platform for wedding vendors in the local area. And what we did is it was like kind of a directory style where people can reach out and look at the local vendors, look up local venues that have wedding venues in the area. And all we did was we charged the wedding vendors just $150 to donate to a local nonprofit in the area. Because for me, nonprofit work is really important. So now I'm kind of eyeing what kind of nonprofit apps can I provide to these nonprofits to help them out to get more awareness. And I know that since I'm already making profit on my white label program, I'll just use some of my credits and I'm able to offer that, whether it's for a tax break or just to help the local community, because I feel like that's really, really important for any local business.
Way to find a creative and innovative way to give back to the community while still helping other businesses to grow. I think that's amazing. Like, yeah, kudos to you for finding in 6 months' time the way to be a mobile app guru. And
Thank you.
we're proud of you and your story. So that's awesome. I want to give. Sorry, this button has just been wonky this whole presentation. I do want to give Max just a moment to kind of give us an insider peek into what it's like in the BuildFire white label program and what the details are about the way the relationship works. So Max, maybe you could give us a little bit of insider info around logistics and how everything operates.
Yeah, of course, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Lauren.
Awesome.
But so ultimately, the white label reseller service that we offer, Moises touched on it pretty spot on. It's ultimately more of a partnership. So from the moment we get going, it's me working with the white labeler to set the expectations of onboarding, making sure that we highlighted the goals for the year, making sure that we have our monthly touch points. It's really being as open and available to the white label owner as possible. As Moises said, it can be a little scary to jump into new waters and starting a new business. But ultimately, that's where the people at BuildFire come into play. So I'm going to be here to work with you really as that partner to help you get started and ultimately scale your business. Not necessarily walking hand in hand. We're going to give you the flexibility and room to run your business because you're the ultimate owner, but we're going to be there to support you. So as time goes on, ideally step a little bit further away and let you run the business. Don't want to micromanage anything, but we're still going to be working together to map out our yearly goals, how we can continue to reach them, and ultimately what BuildFire can do to help improve the platform. As Moises said, we do a lot of changes. I know a lot of you see them very regularly. But with the benefit of that is we're always trying to improve the platform. So as we move on, we want to see what things we can do and change to make sure that the system is up to par, but also, as Moises said, intuitive for how we would like to see the app development service moving forward. And really the white label service just provides this service for any individual entrepreneur or existing business owner to really dive headfirst.
That's awesome, Max. So it's sort of like we're providing enablement and empowerment and really, instead of it being BuildFire as the authority, we've transferred our wisdom kind of, we're the Sherpas that have climbed the mountain hundreds of times, and we're able to impart our wisdom on people like Moises so that they are truly the people that are ready to help the next people up the mountain, right?
Yeah, no, that's spot on.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, we're seeing a bunch of questions roll in here. So I do want to save a little time, just like I promised, at the top of our chat for some Q&A. So the first question here that I think would be really well addressed today and benefit the group is, how do you get started? How does somebody kind of take that first step and dive in and get started with the white label program?
Is that me or Max?
Whomever would like to take it. Maybe Max, do you want to talk about how someone can go and sign up today and fill out a form so we can get a conversation started, and what happens after that form gets filled?
Yeah, of course. So from our white label reseller form, once you have completed this and filled it out, one of our representatives will be in contact to start working with you and really seeing, hey, is this the best fit for you? Or do we want to prepare you to move into the white label system similar to Moises? Ultimately, we don't want to stretch you too thin at first, right? We want to make sure that we're working with you. It's a partnership, and we want to see that partnership grow. So ultimately, setting up and the structure of it is going to be pivotal to seeing your success as a white labeler moving forward. So once you've completed that form, signed up, you're introduced to myself, where we essentially fill out a couple more technical things, get your system generated, and we schedule out the entire onboarding process. Normally 1 to 2 weeks. Within that process, really can be flexible and deal with the availability. So it could be within that time, but we want to have you building applications within that first month.
That's awesome. So in the follow-up email that you'll get after today's presentation, I'll be sure to include both the recording and a link to the form. So if you're ready to get started today, you'll have the ability just to fill out a quick form, and we will get you in the queue for a conversation. And from there, it's really requirements gathering. As a follow-on question, I see David here in the chat asking a really cool question that I think, Max, you'll love to take this one on. Do we offer pre-packaged apps like for restaurants, mechanics, salons, and things of that nature?
Yeah, that's a great question, David. So to dive a little bit more into that, we do have a series of templates. So similar to our own DIY do-it-yourself sign-up page for signup.buildfire.com, those templates, we offer the resellers the availability to select 20 of them. Now, these templates get revamped and revived pretty regularly. So if you see any changes occurring within them, that's just our design team making sure that the templates we offer our clients are up to date and in line with industry standards. But those templates are available for the white labelers that we will clone and add to your DIY system if you choose to go that route. But ultimately, they're preset templates with designs and features included that give you a head start in building out the app. It's really just adding your content and making it brand specific to your business.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We've been around for, over a decade now. So we bring the experience of over 10,000 app builds to the table. And we have an extensive library of different industries, different business types that have been optimized over time by our team to offer the most innovative, cutting edge features, as well as tried and true features that are essentials for those industries. So really, with the team, you're never starting from square one. Sometimes we see really, really creative out of the box ideas, but more often than not, we have a starting point for you, which makes the process really, really easy at the beginning. Like Max said, how amazing to go from 0 to 60 in a month, right? And for Moises to be the app guru in West Virginia in 6 months, I think is a testament to what you get out of the box and the power of leveraging the experience of a company that's been around for quite some time. Awesome. So here's one from Moises. So where do you see yourself with mobile apps over the next couple of years? Like how is that line of business playing out in your strategy for growing your agency?
For me, recurring income is probably one of the most important things, because having a variety of services that we offer, that's kind of like set it and kind of not leave it alone completely, but I know that monthly income is coming in, which is important for any agency to scale. So honestly, I just want to keep building new apps and just improving the ones that we have, and just really working with the BuildFire team to kind of keep continuing to give suggestions to improve apps and see features that I think we could build complete new apps out of. So I really just want to make sure that we're growing as far as how many apps we're developing, but also the quality in the apps that we're developing too.
That's awesome. Well, I see that we are at time for today. This has been such a wonderful chat. Thank you so much, Moises, for partnering with BuildFire. We appreciate you so much. And thank you so much for sharing your inspiring story.
I appreciate that.
With us today. And Max, thanks as ever for your knowledge. We appreciate you joining us as well. Thanks to everybody that attended. Please keep an eye on your inbox. I will send out the recording as well as a link to get started. So enjoy your day and look forward to seeing you again next time for our future app chats. Take good care.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.